Hello everyone, my name is LBK and this is King Per Podcast. How are you doing?
Okay, now it's better. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Okay, so first of all, let me give you some stats. India in 20 overs scored 181 for 7. Virat Kohli 60 of 44. Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul 28 each. Pakistan chased it down in 19.5 overs. Mohammad Rizwan 71 and Mohammad Nawaz a match winning 42 of 20 balls, 6 fours, 2 sixes. So let's get started with him. Mohammad Nawaz. So how did you feel about his innings? One of the best innings. He also got Surya Kumar Yadav out and was the most economical bowler as well. So how did you see it?
Yeah, it was a risky play to push him up the order, but yeah, it paid off. Both of India's spinners are spinners that spin it into the left-hander, and Pakistan made good use of that matchup to take some. Nawaz exploited that positive matchup for him to really score quickly and change the momentum of the game. It's not something I expected, but that happens sometimes. Players that you don't really expect all that much from end up showing up because at the end of the day, the people in the management they know these players better than we do, and I never really rated Nawaz's batting that much, but in this specific role, it paid off, and he's probably been practicing it for quite a while. So that's it paid off really, really well, and I can all I can do is be happy about it.
Now, on a similar note, how much do you think, how big of a tactical error was it not to bowl Deepak Hooda? He bowls decent offies to someone like Mohammad Nawaz, and even if, let's say, he had uh, gotten him out, then there was also Khushidul Shah come up. So, do you think India missed a trick there?
I just don't think Huda's that good of a bowler. So if they snuck him in early, that probably would have helped. But once the Pakistani batter started really targeting everyone, then at that point you can't bring in a part timer like Huda. You can only bring him in when you're doing well. And when India was doing well, they were trying to use their frontline bowlers. But once things started going against them, like it's way too late to bring on your part timer then. And India backed their best bowlers. That's why they picked this side with four specialist bowlers and Pandya, who bowled quite well in the last game. So they backed their better bowlers to get the job done. It didn't pay off, and like I know people will keep saying, Huda's not that bad of a bowler. Huda would have done better than this and that, but I really, really don't rate Huda's bowling as anything that threatening, anything that can put the brakes on too much. Because like not only is he he's a part time. He's also a part time off spinner, which is the easiest form of bowling to hit. So I don't think Huda would have changed anything. I think he would have gotten hit for 26, 28 or whatever, and would have just ended the game faster. Like we've seen what happens when it goes wrong for part timers trying to sneak in a sneaky bowl at the end of the game. Just ask Virat Kohli how that works out.
Also, kind of extending on the topic, do you think it was a tactical mistake itself to play Huda in this game? I mean, if you were going to bat him that low, I think it should have been Akshar Patel should have been playing, since he is also a left arm spinning option and can bat at such a low rank.
Yeah, we talked about this in the previous episode, but I don't think Huda's bowling is that good. I don't think you play him if you want to play Huda as a batter, which I think is functionally all he is. I don't think he's that much more of a bowler than say Asif Ali or Fakhar Zaman is on the Pakistan side. So if you want to play Huda, you play him as a batter, and you play him instead of a batter. And if India's going to use him like this, then it's just a bit of a waste because he's not going to bowl that much because he's not that good of a bowler. If he comes in so late, then what's the point? Like he's not. He is a hard hitter. He's one of those hard hitters, but he also needs a little bit of time to get himself in. So if you want to play him, you play him up the order and you get him to come in a little earlier. So playing him instead of Akshar, who is not even a genuine six option, he is a frontline bowler. So you get Akshar, and then you don't need to rely on Pandya and Chahal as much. I think that probably would have been a smarter tactical decision.
Okay, and talking about what did not work for Pakistan in yesterday's game, Babar Azam and Fakhar Zaman. I think they both have been struggling pretty much the whole tournament. I mean, Fakhar Zaman did get a 50 against Hong Kong, but it was also kind of rusty. So, what do you think has been going on, especially with the Babar Azam, who has not even gotten into the 20s as of now?
It just happens with players, Sometimes they're in form, sometimes they're not. Right now, neither Babar nor Fakhar are that in form. With Babar, I'm not too worried about it. It happens. I mean, just look at every other player, every other batter uh, of significant standing that played the game, right? Kohli is going through his own, prolonged slump right now, but he's started picking up form again, and it's not even the first slump of his career. Rohit's had a ton. Uh, like on the Pakistan side, like several of those players have had many ups and downs in the last couple of years alone. It happens, Babar's insane form since 2016 in T20 cricket was always going to end at some point. So right now he's on the down, but I totally back him to come back roaring before long. So it is bad form. It happens. Whatever. On Fakhar, I do think that at least with Babar, when he's not making runs, he's at least running and he's not looking totally lost. Fakhar does seem that sometimes, and I think especially when he's low on confidence, he dropped that one catch and had that disastrous fielding mistake, the ball right before that. It's a confidence thing, like with Pakistani players and with a lot of players, but I noticed this especially with Pakistan and Afghanistan. Fielding is very much a confidence thing, and I think Fakhar is completely lacking in confidence. That bleeds into his batting, and it bleeds into his fielding as well, and that could become really costly, like it almost was in yesterday's game. Not yesterday, in the day before yesterday's game. And I do think that Fakhar probably shouldn't play the next game. I think they should bring in Hyder Ali, but we'll see. Bad form is a thing. Bad form happens, and you can't be superhuman forever. And I just wouldn't. It's not the end of the world.
And talking about Virat Kohli, seems like his handshake with Babar Azam exchanged their batting forms as well, I guess. Suddenly Babar Azam is the one struggling and Kohli is getting some runs finally.
Yeah, it's an easy joke to make. I'm not much of a superstitious guy. I just think it happens. What happens happens. Kohli's in a better headspace now. Babar's not. So Babar's runs go down, Kohli's runs go up. I don't think it's related to anything else that's going on. It's just stuff happens, and their form is their form, and it's not related to any. There isn't like a finite amount of form in the world that gets transferred between players by contact.
Okay, so moving on to KL Rahul, and I mean we have already talked about him previously, but there's something that came to my notice in day before yesterday's game, and it was that remember how India got a really good start early on, around 4 overs. India was 46 for. As soon as Rohit Sharma got out, you could see how KL suddenly defending everything. I mean, even though he was pretty attacking, defending almost everything, I think he probably defended back-to-back half volleys as well, and he 18 for. I think yes, he got 18 in just 9. But 10 of his next 11, and ultimately got out right after the power play ended. So, do you think that rustiness is still right there, and it is now kind of getting? I mean, early on we were thinking it is just a matter of catching the rhythm, but now it seems like he is actually getting stuck.
Like we were talking about earlier, a lot of batting is confidence. A lot of just playing is confidence, and I think Rahul's pretty low on confidence right now. batting with Rohit, with Rohit going crazy, that probably emboldened him a little. But then once his anchor got out, not so much his anchor, but like once his partner got out, he went back into his shell, and then once you go in there, it can be a little hard to come back out, especially with the Pakistani bowlers sort of getting on top of him after that happened as well. Sensing the shift in momentum. Like obviously rustiness, especially with how bad Rahul has been, it's not going to go away in one half innings where he started well. It was, that he's not cured of it, and we saw it come back at the end. We probably haven't seen the last of it in this tournament. All he can do is just, either he gets dropped or he plays better. Like that's all that can really happen.
And there's also Rishabh Pant. I mean, he has had a pretty good run in tests. He's pretty decent in ODIs, but looks like T20 is one format that he has been strikes in mid 120s, averages in mid 20s. So also, obviously, we have seen that he starts kind of slow and then ends up doing something kind of stupid as he did day before yesterday. So, what do you think went wrong with him that day and previously from what you have seen?
Like, it's weird with Bunt because he has shown all the things you'd expect of a player to be good at T20 international cricket. He's done it in the IPL. He's played some wild innings in the other formats that would indicate good. That would indicate that a good aptitude for T20 cricket, and again, like he's done well in the IPL. So you'd expect him to have a much better T20 international record than he does, but he just doesn't. And it's always it's very easy to oversimplify these things. It's always going to be a multitude of factors. One with Bont, I feel like he gets shuffled around a lot. There isn't much clarity about what his role in the team is supposed to be. And then once he starts going through a bad patch because he doesn't have any clarity on what he's supposed to do, he immediately gets dropped. He's always among the quickest players to get dropped from the team. And I feel like it would work a lot better for Bunt if he had a sustained run in the team, knowing what he's supposed to do, and playing with a specific role like he does when he plays in the IPL, when he plays in the other formats. And he just doesn't. And there's just no space in India's calendar to give him that run because he's a star in the other two formats that will obviously get rested from a lot of T20 internationals, so he just doesn't get time to play that role for India that the coaches want him to. And then when it comes to the tournament, he's undercooked for that sort of role. He doesn't do well. He gets shafted all over the order again. And then it's just back to the drawing board. And this has been going on since 2018, 2019, whenever he first broke through. And because he first broke through as a T20 player. And he just hasn't gotten anywhere with in the international format. And I think that's quite disappointing. But at the same time, like it's really difficult as a T20 international player, especially one that plays in the other two formats. It's really difficult to get your role in the team down. And Bont just hasn't found that. He just hasn't had any consistency to be able to find that. And India are now quickly coming up on a World Cup where either they either they try to persist with Bont and use the World Cup as use the first few games of the World Cup as that learning opportunity, or they try and go for another keeper who has better form in T20 internationals. And like they are running out of time to get things done, and the overbearing nature of India's schedule just doesn't help with trying to make these decisions, with trying to fit in your best on paper team. If some of the players are struggling with clarity on what they're supposed to do, and they get rested from the matches where they're supposed to figure that out, like it just makes everything so much more difficult.
So immediate reaction today. Obviously, India plays Sri Lanka. So does Pant go out? Dinesh Karthik comes in, or do you think they should be persisting with Pant?
I think Pant should play.
That's interesting. So before we go, there's a little bit of stats that are related to this game. So I should get it in it. This is Rohit Sharma's first loss as captain in Asia Cup in 8 games. This is India's first loss in Asia Cup in 14 games. I think their last one was also against Pakistan in 2014, if you remember correctly.
Did
And also, I think this is India's only seventh loss in 7 Asia Cups since Rohit Sharma debuted. So that is quite an achievement, I guess, because it has been long time since he has debuted. That's 15 years.
yeah. Had India already played Sri Lanka in the 2014 Asia Cup before the
Yes,
Pakistan game? Okay, so they
yes,
played Sri Lanka before that and lost that one.
yeah. India lost to Sri Lanka, then won against Bangladesh, then lost against Pakistan. I think that
Okay.
was the sequence back then. Okay, so today's game, India versus Sri Lanka. What are we hoping, and what are your predictions?
I think India probably bounced back from that loss to Pakistan and win, but I would like to see Sri Lanka win. I would like to see Sri Lanka in the final. It's not just because I'm an India hater that wants India to lose every game and get relegated or whatever from international cricket. I just think it would be more fun if Sri Lanka wins and Sri Lanka does better if we have different finalists. We've had 2 India-Bangladesh finals in a row. India will be fine if they don't make the Asia Cup final. It means a lot more to Sri Lanka. So I would like to see Sri Lanka win. It would also, I think it would just be a lot more fun.
Okay, so that is it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.